Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington, USA. It's the 2023 Seattle Snooker Open Championship. We've entered the knockout round. We're going to be beginning the day with the round of 16. David Burney is in the booth with you. We've got a great match to kick things off. Last year's champion, CCU, fitting to defend his title for the day. And the tournament, he is playing Dave Daly here, so two great players in the Pacific Northwest here. So no real clear advantage because both of them have tables at their room, that's for sure. Dave has one at home, and CC is the proud owner and operator of Empire Billiards, which is a short drive away here from Ox Billiards. And on our other TV table, it will be Prathamesh Sawant and against Angus Liu. Angus running a little bit behind here, but as you can see, there's Mike Dominguez, roving referee, scorekeeping manager of everything here. It's just getting these guys ready, and we're set to break off. Dave Daly has won the toss, and we're getting underway. Glad that you're tuning in on either Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch TV. It is the Ox page you should be searching out. And let us know if you have any comments or questions. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And this is going to be exciting. I think maybe a little edge might go towards CC. Just he's got a rich history, defending champion. But champions are beat. We have seen before, so. Yeah, I think Dave just wants to get in early, but not going to risk anything. You're not going to see a lot of risky shots. You might have seen yesterday a few more errant shots from some of the players as we slowly weed down to one winner. We did have some great action yesterday. A lot of black ball finals, edgy matches, real dominance, some great Q action. It's just going to continue on all weekend long until tomorrow night when we crown the champion of this 2023 Seattle Snooker Open Championship. Let's see here if CC's eyeing a plant in there. Or is he just going to clip on that outside red and come around bulk? Yes, Mike is wondering about the online draw, and we did figure that out. We will just get a link to that and paste it up into the chat, so stand by for that. And also there's I know Mike is up there in Canada. There's a great Canadian match coming up after this one, Brady Golan against Charlie Brown, so make sure you set your time for that. And there is the link on the chat to find out all the updated scorings and where everyone stands in this championship. So a little missed long pot that rattled in the jaws there for Dave. And as this opened the door for CC to strike first. Yeah, Dave was in the round robin. That's how he advanced here to this stage. So he had a lot of matches yesterday, got tournament ready. So we'll see if that affects this match at all. CC was enjoying the day off as the #1 seed, the defending champion. This is not a good start that Dave wanted. He wanted to kind of maybe freeze out CC a little bit. Get him to take his time to warm up the machine, but this is a great opportunity here for CC. Was he lucky there? Just didn't get the result. A nice black for sure, but unfortunately I don't think he's on anything. I don't think that cue ball is touching that red ball. So CC's now just got to take his medicine, take his 16 break, and wait for another opportunity. The one that's near the cushion could clip off that, but the problem is he's leaving this red out in the middle of the open, so he's going to elect to take that on and try and just inch his cue ball back into the ball carrier. Fell a little short. Looks like CC could probably try a cross double here with the element of safe. No, he went for the pot cold-blooded, and he's left a chance here for Dave. Now, how does he make on his first opportunity to get into the balls? Yeah, there's a tricky angle to hold for the black. He's kissed into the blue nicely. Just taking a look at where he wants to find another red, which is a bit tricky right now. Just going to clip off this red and try and get behind one of those bulk colors. I'm just going to use a little bit more pace, but too bad there. Wanted more of an opportunity, but just trouble with all these reds down in the cluster by the pink. There's nothing really available if you're on the right side of the table. Oh, CC's definitely going for his long pots. Was successful on that one. The unfortunate part, he's not really greatly on this black, so I could see him possibly just rolling up gently to it. I'm just going to look for safe off the yellow. He's taking the glancing shot off the left side of the pack, so this is a bit dangerous. There's an in-off possibility. Dave did nicely to avoid that. He's poked out another long red. He's got a good cue ball that's not tight to that bulk cushion, so CC can do a little bit with the cue ball, but just tricky that he has to put his bridge hand onto the cushion. Also, he always makes a shot a little bit more difficult. Well, his long body and his success rate is climbing, that's for sure. That's 2 to the good out of 3 shots, so maybe CC got a little bit of morning practice at his club just before he got here. It's a good angle to kind of get in and disturb a bunch of those reds. Yeah, he's got a very interesting cue technique, CC does. If you watch on his feathering, and then when he's coming to drive through the cue, through the cue ball, There's that just little stutter stroke before. We split them up, and he's kind of lucky there. He raises his hand, acknowledging the fluke. The pink's kind of gone up table. Created a nice little wall with the yellow, but seems to be working. I might have asked, is he actually about that stutter, and I don't think he's actually fully aware of it. It's just something that naturally he's done over the years, and well, he's in the semifinals this year of the BC Open. Last year he was a runner-up in the BC Open. Last year's Seattle Snooker Open champion. So I think whatever CC's doing, it's working for him. So who are we to judge? And this is a good opportunity here. He's opened up the balls nicely. I always discuss on these broadcasts the amateur game here. Sometimes you want to like open up those balls as soon as you can and put the pressure on your opponent to make a high break, because it is pretty nerve-wracking when you get into the unknown. If you're used to putting in centuries, it's not too bad, but I haven't seen too many in our game, shall we say. I got to commentate once on the great Fern Loyer out of Sudbury. He had a century a few years ago at a Richter Cup. And I actually got to see the great Ricky Walden when he was over. He put a century up against Tyler Weir back in Vancouver. So the tournament does have Burney's best. It seems to get some traction. That I will give $100. That's Canadian dollars to any player that makes a century. Just seeing Dave off the table, he shrugs his shoulders and just puts his hands in the air going, what can I do? It is true. That's the tricky part about this game. There's really nothing you can do when your opponent's at the table. It's probably one of the only sports I could really think that you are battling an opponent and you have to just sit and watch as they accumulate points against you. You know, tennis, you're right in it. Golf, you're kind of on your own. You're not really sure. Sure, there's leaderboard checking and stuff like that, but you're up close and personal watching your opponent do all the damage to you in the game of snooker. I believe right now Brady Golan has the high break of the tournament at 46. Ooh. Well, that could be a reprieve now. Let's see what Dave can do. The black's on its spot. He's got some reds open. He's got an easy starter here. So good opportunity for Dave to get back into this first round. It's a best of 5, round of 16. Winner moves into the quarterfinal, and that will be played a little later today. And then we'll have semifinals and finals. Starting tomorrow at high noon will be our semifinal matches. So kind of ran out a little bit of position on that red onto the black. And just made it that red that much more difficult. Well, let's see if CC's entertained to this long pot. Here, seeing some good luck wishes from Stephen Wong and Ray Fong, the two finalists in last year's U.S. National Championship. Glad that you guys are tuning in. The one question is, why aren't you up here? You know, those two guys definitely know the tables here at Ox, as they played a lot during that U.S. Nationals. But it is an amateur game. You know, we like to get some nice prize pots for our players. But still, it's not something that you can really make a living off of just yet. going back to form. Just if you watch CC, he pretty much doesn't lift his head until that object ball is in the bottom of the pocket. It's a great attribute to have for any new players or youngsters. If you just watch CC's head, it does not bounce around a lot, very still. So Dave's got to be kicking himself a little bit. Had a bit of an opportunity. Had a CC missed a red into the middle. Dave could have pounced in and really punished CC for it, but the red, and then he kind of got a tough position on the black. Unfortunately missed it and has left it here. Yeah, I think this is the type of action you're going to see today. There's a lot of great players. We've got Gary Wallace and Christian Youngers in a match. We'll try and update you as best we can about that. And Kevin Cui against Alex Newstead. There's a great stat there for the pot success there. You can see why CC is in command right now. 94% to 48% for Dave. But Dave really hasn't had too many chances to get in. $53 on the table and 59, or 53 in it, 59 on the table. And there's definitely some reds that have gone safe. I'm not saying that Dave needs reds with the black. Oh, very nicely done there, Mr. Daly. Appears like he does have the snooker here, so this is a good tick here for Dave. Great shot. Wonderful. Dave can kind of wake up a little bit, kind of dragging his cue a little bit. The body language just says he knows he's up against it. Obviously, he knows the caliber of CC, but he's got to look at it as a challenge. Got to be ready for it. Maybe just get the cue arm going a little bit and stuff like that. This frame is slowly evaporating for him, but. Thumbs up from Mike Cease. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have any comments or questions? We'll do our best to answer them. As you can see up the Restream.io has posted the link for the bracket. Nice double by Dave, but can use this green to get back down to the good side of the table. Sort of liked it to run a few more rotations, but he might just be able to slide by that pink. He's got to be really precise. Yeah, he's going for it, but still an interesting little collection area there for snookers. Good morning, Vineet. Just hearing that Mike Dominguez was very appreciative of all your help yesterday, Vineet. Thanks for jumping in, acting as roving referee. And yeah, they are going to be some exciting matches because that was a wonderful long pot with the element of safe, definitely. A shot to nothing for CC. But yeah, Vineet is a great asset to have in the community out here in the Pacific West. He does great work at our events in Vancouver, and it was great to see him come down and help out Mike, and that's a concession there. So CCU takes this first frame, 61-11, leading 1-0. It's a best of 5. So let's see if Dave can bounce back in frame 2 coming up shortly. And we're back here, frame 2 of this 2023 Seattle Snooker Open Championship is round of 16. CCU defending champion here to break off. David Burney's in the booth here to guide you through these great matches today. Pretty sure there will be some visitors that will pop by into the studio. I'm hoping that potentially Prathamesh Sawant can join me. He had great analysts at last year's Open and at the U.S. Open. Really like his keen eye, finding all the shots. He's a great player, so he knows the psyche that these players are feeling. And good morning, Graham and Stephen. Thanks for tuning in on the stream. Feel free to share with all your friends out there, your snooker fans. It's kind of a lazy Sunday for most, but an exciting Sunday for us here at Ox Billiards. Wow. CC with these long pots. It's just fantastic, and Clay's letting us know. Clay's in the tournament. So the bracket link was hidden by Facebook because they think it's sensitive content or spam. It's the first time I've ever heard that a bracket could be sensitive. But hopefully we can, our tech team behind the scenes can clear that up, Clay, and we can get the link better up there for all you fans out there to see how the tournament is progressing. That is true, Chris. CC is really knocking in those long pots. Chris, who was in this tournament, fought hard, but unfortunately had there's only one winner in these tournaments, but everyone comes out and battles hard. They played their best, that's for sure. Ken Bartko, how you doing? Good morning. Thanks for all the kind words. It's a little hiccup in the room there. Looking at the stream a bit, the way it's patched in on this system here. They do have some nice background music for the players. They don't mind that as long as it's not too abrasive. But actually, as we were trying to get that bracket up there, our technician punched into the stream a little bit, so all of a sudden the players heard my voice over the loud PA. So everything has been resetted, and it's not bad. He's left a long, very longish plant, that's for sure. So hopefully those links are better for you in the chat. Feel free to let us know. Ox Billiards has posted up a link to the bracket. Could have been better to be on a color, but that was definitely a tricky plant. Although the red is close to the pocket, there's a lot of distance from cue ball to one red, and then that red to travel to the other object ball. Let's see if he takes on this long green. Yeah, he was going for it. And he's left a long red for Dave. Bit tricky just because that brown just gets into your thought process a little bit. Nice drag shot to hold for the black. Got a good angle on this black to get onto the red, just to the bottom and to the left of the black spot. I think the black probably might sneak into the pink spot. If not, it's going to go to the blue spot. Ooh, oh. Double threat there. That was, didn't have the pot, and then just that black kissing out and pushing that cue ball just to be in a better potting position for these reds around the black spot. CC's probably able to take on this lower red, a little soft screw, and should be onto the black into the opposite top left corner pocket. And providing some good vibes. Hopefully that's for maybe all of us behind the scene, or maybe there's a certain player that she's pulling for, whether it be CC or Dave, sending them the good vibes. But we appreciate that you're tuning in, Hannah. Hope you're enjoying the great snooker action here. Do let us know if the picture becomes a little unclear or the audio isn't as crisp as you like. We've got a great team behind the scenes helping out. Yeah, he's going for the jugular right there, trying to take on that red and break a lot of things out. So the unfortunate part is he's left an easy starter here for Dave. Let's see if he can jump on this, as he had one last frame. Just ran a little too far on the black. Has to contend with the green. So we'll see how that works out. Brown and green over there. It's a good little collection area if someone can find it, because that's a great place to leave your cue ball for your opponent. Inches away from perfection there. Just needed to hit a little bit thinner and he would have got nice and nestled up on that black. So then pot here for Dave. It's going to like that little kiss into the red, leaving himself onto the pink. It's just tough to tell if the pink will go back on its spot from this angle. But Dave needs to put up a good break here. Put his mark down. Oh, Dave. Yeah, he's going to be disgusted with that shot, obviously. It's one thing when you lose, but it's especially really tough when you make yourself lose. If you fight hard and battle and you just lost to a better player, you can still keep your head up high, but when you beat yourself, it's no fun at all. It's a lonely place over there in his chair. We'll see what CC can make with that missed pink of Dave. Seeing that red that is by the pink spot. Looks like there's a gap possibly through there. Or he might take those two reds together, the one that's to the left of the two. Well, that's cleared up the pink spot. Definitely on this, looks like that pink is very easily cuttable, but on the actual live table is very severe.
It was meant to be.
So unfortunately, our friend Angus Liu hasn't shown up, so he has forfeited his match. So good thing for us in the booth that we have Prathamesh Sawant back in the booth to provide excellent analysts to this great game. So Prathamesh, welcome to the booth. How you doing?
Thanks, Dave. I'm good. Really good to be back in the booth, especially expecting a full day of snooker, and then instead of taking a break, I think I'm much more comfortable in the booth.
Well, don't get too carried away. You know, you got a quarterfinal match a little later this afternoon, but that's nice when you can have a walkover into the quarterfinal.
Yeah, I'll take it. I hope he's okay, though.
It's true. Exactly. We hope nothing has happened to Angus, maybe just overslept.
We hope he's safe.
True. If anyone out there knows Angus in the stream, feel free to let us know if he's doing all right.
How's this one going? It's CC up 1-0.
That is correct. Yeah, CC's been playing quite well. His long potting is looking nice. Dave has had some opportunities. He's just been not being able to pull the trigger.
This one seems, I mean, I'm joining late, but it does look like it's been a bit of a scrappy frame. Because we've got a lot of reds gone, but the score isn't too high. So I'm guessing there's a lot of reds without making any colors.
Correct. But with the reds open like that, there's potential for someone to score heavily, but we'll just see what happens.
I think this might work in Dave's favor a little bit if he takes advantage of it, because if CC is playing well, you really want a frame like this to shut the other player down.
Yeah, his long potting has just been fantastic today.
I don't think the black goes. The blue and pink are too risky. Probably the yellow with the rest. I think we'll know here how aggressive he's feeling based on whether he goes down table or not.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling confident, feeling good. He is going to be taking a lot more on those shots. I think if Dave was able to bounce on those mistakes that he made, CC might be a little bit more tentative to take some of the shots that he's been taking on, but
there was a nice little clip on the pink, just making it slightly easier. He's got the black and the pink now. Pink is slightly easier though. Last couple of shots kind of say a little bit about how CC is thinking about this game. He means all business. doesn't want to do too much, is ready to take what he gets and then work hard for the rest. He could have played that hard, tried to come around the table, but made sure of the pot. I think the red on the right side is the one he'll go for. Fairly high percentage, but willing to work hard for it.
I think before this match, actually, he took a look at the bracket and kind of brushed his brow a little bit, seeing that Charlie Brown and Brady Golan are going against each other. So two powerhouse Canadian players. Unfortunately, one's going to be going home a little later this afternoon. That's our next match on the TV table.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match. I played against Charlie. Really impressed with the way he plays. Definitely one of the stronger players down from Canada. I also watched a bit during the BC Open, and I think his break building was really good. I actually think he had a really good chance in the final and probably let the match go a little bit when he was up until Albert turned it around.
That's true, yeah. Charlie was a black away from making it in the final. They went to that respotted black in the fourth frame, and then Albert was able to take it, and then he just turned into another gear and was able to take the decider.
And even in the frame with the respotted black, I think Charlie was up like a lot of points before he turned it around. And Brady's been really impressive as well. I think he's made the most high breaks of sorts yesterday. I think a couple of 40s.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough shot for Dave. Nope. Dave needs a few of them to go well to build confidence. I think the way it's going, it looks like he's doesn't have the confidence right now. I don't know how the first frame went, but it does happen when the opponent scores heavy in the first one.
True, yeah. CC had a break of 30 in the first frame and really was potting a lot of great long reds and seemed to be on top of it. He gave Dave some opportunities, but as I was saying, Dave just didn't pounce onto those opportunities. So I think you're right. If Dave can pot a few balls in succession, get a decent break going, that will just up his confidence. Because you know it's a big hill to climb going against CC, the defending champ. Kind of the big dog down here.
Definitely. I mean, there's no doubt down in Washington who the best player is. I think it's not even arguable. CC is by far the best player down here. Nicely on the pink. Based on how the angle is, he's got options here. He can play the red on the left to the pink, play it for the right center, or go for the one on the right side of the table near the pocket. Looks like he can stun it though for the side. Definitely a sign CC is looking to build breaks. I think the easier one was the one near the pocket, but this was the right shot for a bigger break. Slightly unlucky that he ended near the cushion.
Yeah, we kind of saw that a bit yesterday with Brady Golan playing. He might be taking a little bit more difficult of a shot, but as you could see, he was successful with that difficult shot, and that continued him on to have a high break. And there we've cursed CC there. So Dave's got the opportunity here now. See what he can turn around and do.
Looks like that's run a bit too far.
Might be a path to that black, possibly, but that certainly did run far. First match of the day, so these tables are pretty slick.
Yeah, the pink does go though, between the blue and the black. Dave needs, I think, a few easy shots to get going right in amongst the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Difference of 31 here. CC needs, I think, 2 reds, a red, color red, to take the frame.
Came up a little short on that snooker. Oh,
That was a surprising shot. The ball near the pocket was on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he didn't even consider it.
It is always tough to, when you're up against these juggernauts, just to mentally get into it. So many times you think like, well, who's going to beat him? Like, he's just so strong of a force, but you need to push that away. And, every dog has his day, as they say.
And it's generally, I think, playing someone like CC, it's hard to only win playing safe. You've got to go aggressive a little bit. Unless you make shots, his game isn't going to change. Snooker incoming right here. Probably behind the brown.
Or does he play an angle?
He's playing the yellow. Nope.
Maybe he was playing for the black, but still not a comfortable situation here for Dave. Right up tight to that black. His bridge hand is on the cushion.
Very comfortable position for CC here. Even if he leaves the reds on, there's no color really for Dave to get back. Nothing apart from the yellow is easy, and he can't get back into the game with 2 yellows.
Well, that's a great shot with the rest.
And that's the frame.
Yeah, it's just 2 snookers, so we'll see if Dave does come back to the table.
He should come back. But I think the reason I said is the frame's done here is even if he were to get back, I think where the colors are, it's a huge advantage for CC. I wouldn't expect, I think, definitely no clearances from here on, but CC has a huge advantage.
A little touch shot here on the red, get the cue ball behind that brown.
Oh, very nice shot.
Is it going in? Oh.
He needed that.
Mm-hmm. However, the big thing here is probably if CC hits it, this red is going to go in.
I think CC can just play this one freely because even if he misses, Dave can only make the yellow or the green. That's about it. So that would give him at best 32. So it'll be back to 2 snookers. All he needs to do is not leave a free ball. That's it. And he might have left a free ball.
I think he has. Oh.
You know what the shot is here? Play the green onto the red. That's the shot. I hope Dave figures it out.
The green onto the red. So what do you think in using your...
So the green will be the red. You
Yep.
can just make the red there. Now this is, I think, a mistake. Because making the color, he can only go for the yellow. He could have played the green onto the red and then played the green. Because the green counts as a red. And then you can play the combination on a free ball. And
Can't play the combination?
Can.
You can. Yes, that's what I
this
thought.
This is the only time you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a tactical error here. Because now he's gained only 1 point, where he could have done the same thing and gained at least 4.
Yeah, actually, Dave is just trailing by 35, so he's able to take the black with the red and run table.
Oh yeah,
Could force a black ball respot, but
that's also a good thing, yeah. I think maybe he did consider something else then.
well, we're not out of this frame just yet, so this is doing wonders for Dave's game. Although I think he's got to get the redwoods out here.
I think it really is an opportunity for Dave to punish him. I think there was a shot in the frame where CC kind of played it easy. He had the frame with him where he played the yellow onto the black. There were easier snookers. And I think if Dave punishes him, the snooker gods will do their thing. I'm pretty confident.
Well, brown and blue are a bit tricky for his run out here, but hey, he can make a good dent taking this black. Here's the yellow, the green. Ooh. Oh, he fluked it.
I told you about the snooker gods.
Sure, is that what you do? You have a little ceremony in the morning, Prathamesh? Praying
No,
to
I
the
think
snooker?
what I've noticed is when someone's up and they kind of let the other person off the hook, it changes the way the luck. I mean, the way the other player plays and even the roll of the balls a lot of the times. And I think CC did that when there were 2 reds remaining. And the shot I'm talking about is the shot where he played the yellow and tried to go behind the black.
Mm-hmm. He's going to try and get behind the brown here.
Nope, I think he's left it. Or has he?
It's tough to tell from our angle. CC's looking pretty confident looking at him at the table. So I think it's definitely
it's
on.
Yeah, it looks on. Things have changed. The blue opened up there.
Yeah. Starting to make CC think a little bit, as much as they say it's a thinking person's game. You know, you don't want to think too much.
It's too slow. Dave really has a good chance to punish him here. I think the crucial ball on this one will be the brown.
You going up and down the table? You coming off the top cushion for the screen?
I wouldn't. I'd play the green onto the knuckle and then put the cue ball on the black cushion. I don't think he quite has the angle to put the cue ball behind the black, but I think the way Dave's playing, I would make him work hard for it. I wouldn't give fouls here.
Wow.
Oh, he could pot it.
That was thin. Good test of eyesight there. Well, Dave's not out of it yet. Just needs the one snooker. So just where that pink is, it's a nice little area over there. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, now I think this is a good opportunity to go behind the black. Up and down with the brown.
Hitting the right side of the brown coming off the cushion.
Yep, that's the one. He's close.
CC has been excelling at his long pots today, so it's good. This goes down. It looks like 2 frames to the good for him.
Look out. And that surely has to be the end of it. Dave can play on because it's going to be 2 snookers. Whoa. He's really
Very
lucky that
careless.
didn't go in off. If that goes in off, there's a free ball too. Not that anything easy from the free ball, but I think the snooker would have been easy.
But quite surprising there. CC's always quite careful and with his shots. He's not really careless, and that just felt like a... Oh... They pretty much knew just as he hit that shot. I was disgusted with that.
Yeah, not really sure what he was trying. I don't think the shot behind the pink was on at that distance.
Well,
That's another let off.
Mm-hmm.
Dave really has a chance still. I think the balls are laying pretty good. He needs only 1 snooker. Might be worth actually going for the blue here. Because that would mean 1 snooker would give him or get him in the game. With blue, he can only tie.
Those dreaded double kisses.
CC is really good on these shots.
So that probably will punch us into the 3rd frame. So CC looking really well to defend his title in his first match of this 2023 Seattle Snooker Open campaign. Yes, Dave concedes there. So CC takes the 2nd frame by a score of 56-28 to lead 2 frames to nothing. Just an update from the room. It looks like Gary Wallace has took the 1st frame over Christian Youngers, and he's also up in the 2nd frame 19-0. And we'll be right back with frame 3. And we're back here with frame 3. Dave up against it. He's trailing 2 frames to none. But this is sometimes when Dave really digs in and is the fighting Irishman that he is. So how are you feeling that this one's going to play out, Prathamesh?
I think CC is a huge favorite here. Dave had a chance, but he really is struggling. So he needs a good break to get him going. But unless CC keeps missing, I think CC is a huge favorite here. I don't think Dave's playing his A game yet, and he's got a lot of opportunities that he's missed. So he really needs to turn it around.
Tanjinder, we just don't not know what's going on with Alex and Kevin. We do know that they're in the second frame. Maybe if we can find a runner in the room just to update us, that would be fantastic, and we'll try and report that back to you.
This looks good.
Sure, he's left one long pot on there, but that's...
He's left a safety from the left side of the bunch too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good safety by Dave. I think if the difference between this and being a really good safety was probably half a roll.
It's a nice shot by CC. It's a difficult path to come back into the bulk area for Dave. Well, he might be able to take that red. Just bites lonesome away from the bunch.
Good safety by Dave. I think he's probably forced CC into a pot.
Kevin's up on the frame.
Just to Ginger, a little update. Kevin is up 1 frame to nothing over Alex Newstead. Looks like Gary Wallace is up quite a bit in the second frame, 25 to nothing over Christian Younger. So Christian definitely knew he was up tough against Gary Wallace. Gary's definitely one of the all-time greats of grinding.
Is Gary from BC too?
He is, yes. He's from the Langley area. So definitely a huge snooker fan too. Comes out to like pretty much all the tournaments. He did play in the qualifier for this championship back in Canada, but it was unsuccessful. But licked his wounds, and now he's down here. A little bit of his cheering section in the room, which is great to see.
Who won the qualifiers down there?
Ross Bradson was the winner of the qualifier, and Karim Gill, who we'll see in action this afternoon, was the second place. And the third place was Ashik Taki, who was in the round robin yesterday. And unfortunately, you were playing with him on Friday night, and it was some great sparring, the both of you. I thought Ashik was going to go a little bit further.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the way he played on Friday. We practiced a few frames, and he did really well. But I didn't see any of his matches in the round robin stage. But I think he's out now, right?
He is out, yes, unfortunately. But there's something to be said about just playing a friendly and then playing in a tournament.
Yeah, but definitely a good player. I think one of the differences when someone comes to Ox, I think from having played in a different place, the tables are way more challenging than what you would find elsewhere. I think these are pro card pockets. I think if you are not queuing really well, you get found out on these.
Yeah, there's no real place to hide. And yeah, all the players from near and far, obviously, a lot of you local guys are spoiled, but I know talking with the Canadians and our friend from Arizona who came up is just loves these tables to bits. And I think it's catching because Mike and his crew here at Ox are raising the standards, and you're going to see at other clubs wanting to be to that level as well.
I think a lot of these clubs now have, at least a few of them have star tables. I was down in California last month, and I went to a place there. It was in LA, and they had about 4 star tables. 2 of them exactly like these, and 2 of them were, I think, a slightly lower. I think it was called the Star Silver or something like that.
Yeah, we are chatting a lot about a border battle, definitely between. We're fighting for a name, I think. So, like, we had the talking about Canada versus the U.S., but some people feel like we've had that already. But there is always a lot of chat about the Pacific Northwest, and sometimes when I tell people, well, in Canada, geographically, in Vancouver, we're in the Pacific Southwest. So, is it the Pacific Southwest versus the Pacific Northwest battle?
That's interesting.
Or something like by the South by Southwest festival that they have in Austin every year. Great festival down there. Actually, a few years ago, I was almost able to take part actually in a photography exhibit down there, and unfortunately, 2 of the photographers didn't send their photos, and the show was canceled the night before I was able to fly out. So,
I think we can just go with Pacific Northwest Championships,
really.
and in the future get more states in.
Christian, that's an interesting mask you're wearing today. I think we'll come up with something great. And I know you were kind of pushing a little bit of the billiards, playing that in it. That's interesting. I'm not familiar a lot with the billiards game. Obviously, people think, oh, billiards, isn't this all billiards? But you can correct them because that's completely wrong.
With billiards, what I like is I think the game of English billiards is what it all started with. So I think being true to that, if we have a team event, always squeezing in 1 billiards, a couple of 6 red makes it interesting. It's very similar to most of the team events having a doubles game to make it interesting. I think we can go with doubles, English billiards, and even 6 reds.
True. What about the shootout?
That's a
10
good
minutes?
idea too. Yeah.
Okay.
I think what I don't like with some of the team events, and which I think when we decide how to do this, we should consider all of this is. I don't like every match being pre-decided. I think the captain or whoever is the captain, I think the decision making of the captain should be important to say that after a certain game, who's the next one that's going to go in, and it should be almost blind, where this captain doesn't know who the other player is going to be. So I think that makes it a little interesting for even if you have a playing captain, non-playing captain.
I guess give the flip of the coin. Say you and I are captains. I win the coin toss. So then I chose you to select your first player, and say you choose CC, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to choose Brady then to combat it, or something like that. Or
Yes, and
I guess we got to find out who the captains are going to be. Should we have these room owners out here in the Pacific West, Mike Dominguez and Jonathan Sun?
our captains decided it's Mike.
True, I think as well. I think Jonathan obviously isn't here. I think Jonathan Sun might actually be in China right now, the owner of Top 147. There's a big Chinese 8-ball tournament going on over there because he was hoping to come down for here, but had his duties over there. But I think he's been doing some great things for the game of snooker up there in Vancouver, so I think he should be the captain as well. So We've got our captains picked. Now we just need teams.
Teams and the format nailed down. I think it should be a fun event.
True. The trophy's in the works. I'll show you when we come off camera. I've been experimenting with some things, so I'll have to show you that, Prathamesh.
Looking forward to it. I feel for Dave a little bit here. It really is tough on these tables when things aren't working out.
Is there a plant here that he's seen? No.
I don't think he's on anything, do you? Maybe the yellow.
Long yellow, but that's tricky. What about Super Snooker? Do you ever remember that? Did you ever hear of that?
Nope, I have not. What was that about?
Pretty much identical to Snooker. However, they added an orange and a purple ball. So the orange was worth, I believe, 8 points, and the purple was worth 9 points.
And where did they spot?
And I believe there was a spot in between the pink and the blue, and the blue and the brown. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Great viewers out there in the chat. They're obviously online watching us, so they can have easy access to Google and maybe find out what the positioning was for the balls on Snooker, Super Snooker, but obviously it didn't catch on, or we'd be playing that.
And I think Snooker has done really well over the years. The rules have evolved, so they've done a really good job of evolving the rules as the players have gotten better.
And we've got to say, just then, thank goodness for the internet, you know, and the expansion of sports channels, because for the longest time here in North America, it was very tough to find live snooker on the TV. And you're originally from India, right, Prathamesh?
Yes.
Was it on the television over there when you were growing up, or how?
Nope, it wasn't. It was just watching it after it's done on YouTube.
Okay.
It was hard to get content back then, but I think now that's the difference. I think players who are up and coming now, really good content is available very easily. Just from watching matches or even coaching content.
True, and that's going to help the game. I know a few years back they did have an Indian Open on the Pro Tour, and unfortunately that hasn't come back. But it does revolve around dollars and cents always. But that'd be a nice thing to see. I know, Mike's doing a great job here. I think there's rumblings definitely over in the pro circuit that they're seeing that in North America, potentially America, there is a market there to come over. And that's just going to help the growth of the sport, having events in different areas of the world.
Yeah, that'd be good to see. I think the players definitely like traveling down to America. I think it's just a question of getting the sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one of those frames which has gone scrappy.
Yeah, those long pots that CC was making quite religiously in the first two frames has kind of gone by the wayside now.
Yeah, I think Dave's broken CC. Now it's his chance to kind of just make a couple of colors, get a decent lead on. Not happening for him.
Yeah, he was able to take that, he'd be probably hopping around the table. Yeah, I think you're right there, Prathamesh, that he's broken a little bit of CC. Now just can he shatter him?
Dave should keep it tight now. Good chance to get behind the green, or the yellow's a little hard.
Yeah, the yellow, if he's able to get there, it's a great reward, but it's definitely tricky with the pace and the angle coming off that red.
Yeah, he'll need to get the gap between the brown and the green. The advantage of yellow is that he needs to be on the left side. The return safety is harder from the left side. From this side, the return safety is easier. He could clip the reds on the right side of the table.
Don't know if he's left a long gap for this red out in the open that he just hit.
Yeah, I think CC's decided he's going to go for it. Dave isn't scoring heavily, so he doesn't have a lot to worry about.
There's back that long potting form, but
And that is unlucky. Can he see the black, or is he snookered on all?
I think he's snookered on all.
What do you go for here, Dave?
What do I go for?
Even before you answer that, what are your thoughts on this new method?
The method?
Yep.
I kind of like it because I kind of brought it to you guys. Well, I didn't. I found when I was at the PAPS event, I saw the great Kevin Patrick actually doing this with marking the cue ball. So I think it works well. It really speeds up the process of restarting that cue ball. No discredit to all the technology you have, but watching the qualifier when you guys had it here, there was a time when there was a foul to miss, and then they were going on their iPhones and going back in the stream and stuff like that. So I think this is quite effective. How do you feel?
I think it's good, but I'll tell you what I don't like about the way it's implemented. Because this was new to me, and I was just watching this on the stream. And if I were a player subjected to this, I would have been worried, because what was happening was, now this is a good mechanism to get the ball close, but it's a game of millimeters. So what was happening was the ref was marking it, and then when it was replacing, looking at the mark, replacing and go. I think what's important in these is that even before you mark it and after you mark it, you take a look at what angles are available to you. Even if it changes by fractions, because even when you use the ball marker, it can change by fractions. So an example would be, let's say in this shot, can the cue ball go past the side pocket or not? And that could be a matter of fractions. So I think when you implement it, it's important to check what you can see before and making sure that after it's the same thing. It's pretty close, but that's the only thing I would change, that the ref sees it, okay, on the right side, they can go up to the side pocket and not past that, because those slight changes can make the difference.
And the one thing as well is when you're bringing the ball marker, you have to bring it in the same spot. Like pretty much if you marked it, say, for instance, on the left side, you can't bring it from the bottom because that's completely different. So,
but I think what would happen, I mean, if you look at the videos on the pro circuit, right, they'll use technology, but even after the technologies, they would ask both players and see what they can see. I think that's the only part missing, but I think this is, really good in the absence of videos. But I think checking the angles in some of the snookers is important.
It was interesting that when I was over at the World Championships last year, I got to talk to Olivier Martil, great referee that did the final of last year's championship. And I was like, with all the technology you have, and you've got the video equipment that you get the cue ball right back on the spot, you still turn and look at each player and see if they agree on it.
Yeah.
So, and he was just like, well, that's just, how they were taught, because they didn't have that technology. You'll always make sure both players are happy to carry on. So he said it was just a force of habit, shall we say.
No, but even if you do check it on video, it might look like it's the same spot, but there are some times when you have more of it available.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the snookers, it won't matter.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying. Obviously, you could be a millimeter off, but we're still in the amateur game. Some guys like to think that it is a professional game, and take 6 hours for a best of 3 match. Sometimes.
Yeah, I get that. I think where I'm coming from is if I lay a really good snooker, I want to make sure I get rewarded for it with 3 of them. So I would check it every time myself. So. He's on a good break here. He's got the blue. I don't know if the pink spot is available. On video, it does look like the pink spot is available too. It's an unexpected miss from CC. Hasn't left much for Dave.
No. Well, Gary Wallace is really freezing out Christian Youngers. Is ahead in that second game 48-0 and leading the match 1-0. Because I was watching actually Ross Bradson, fellow Canadian who's in the tournament, playing Christian last night. They're just having a little friendly after the day's action, and Christian was looking really well, potting a lot of great balls, but it's tough against Gary, who really grind you out. So
yeah, I think that's probably where Christian's learning now. He's gotten really better at snooker in the last few months. But I think strategy is the only part he'll keep learning, and I think Gary's experience will show that. But when Christian's playing well, I think his break building is pretty good.
just an update from our other table is Kevin and Alice are tied 1-1 in that best of 5. And they're just starting off at frame 3. Next, Enos is wondering what's the new method for putbacks. And I believe we're at 3 attempts, 2 putbacks. Or no, it's that was in the round robin. It is unlimited, actually, in the knockout phase. Well, unlimited until snookers are required.
I think, Dave, what he means is the part that we were discussing, the method.
Fair enough.
Maybe you want to explain the method yet?
Well, the method that they're using, as we were alluding to, it's with a paired-on cue ball marker. And now that marker comes with a little notch in the middle. So the idea is to bring that marker to the cue ball, roll the cue ball away, and then with a tailor's pencil that you can get in any fabric store, just make a little mark where that notch is, and then bring your cue ball back and take away the marker, and then let them play on. If there's a miss, then you can bring that cue ball marker with that notch right back into that spot that you use with the tailor's pencil and roll the cue ball back on there with pretty much accurate precision. But Prathamesh has said that it's maybe just a millimeter out, so that could be all the difference in the world.
No, I agree. It's extremely accurate, so it speeds up the game. All I would do is just check the angles. That's it. In where it's closed. As a player, I would.
So when are you going to be refereeing some tables?
My plan to referee is pretty simple. If I lose, I'll be open to refereeing or commentating.
Scorekeeping's fun too. You know, you can be right there, front row.
Did he cover the red?
I think he might. Dave's having a really good look at it. And from our vantage point, it's tough to tell over here. It'd be nice if he could clip it and get behind this yellow. Looks like it's... Well, he can do a lot more than see it. He can actually pot it. Well, that's what we're here for. Explanations, answers, insight. If you have any questions, no matter how versed you are in the game, maybe we have some new people in there and they might not know what the value of the blue color is. It's 5 points there, but that's what Prathamesh and I are here to do. Help all you out get into the game, because I feel once you get hooked on this game, it's tough to let it go.
Could not agree more. I think where Dave's kind of missing out right now is position from the red. Even on the yellow, I think he landed a little tricky with the rest and ended up missing it.
Yeah, it's a little scrappy third frame here. Very important. If CC's able to take this, he'll move on to the quarterfinals. Dave takes it, he keeps his hopes alive of becoming the 2023 Seattle Snooker Open champion. I don't think you can see that red by the yellow and black, and that's a slow, delicate shot that you really have to trust the table.
I don't think he has an easy safety here. He might just roll this red up and land near the bottom cushion, or the black cushion rather. But this is a good opportunity for Dave. I'm surprised he took that on. I wonder if the red isn't on. The red that was slightly inside from the one he attempted.
You're talking about those three that were in a line? Yeah.
Yeah, the outside one of that. If that did go, I think that would have been easier for the pink. CC's off too. It's one of those games where this is a tough frame, but I think if Dave wins one frame, he has a chance because CC isn't playing as well as he was in the first frame. Just needs to bear down and make a color here.
Almost could have been a nice miss there. Just kind of into the too much thick of the yellow. I agree with Prathamesh. Yeah, if David made that brown, gets feeling that he can make a break.
So this is a frame where I think if I was playing, all I would be thinking about is I'm 2-0 down, not playing well. All I need is to be in the frame during the colors and get a chance and try to win from there. You win one frame, it changes the whole game.
Definitely. Never in the match until you get that first frame on the board.
The pink was, I think, a welcome foul for Dave. That's a bit of a let-off.
True. We'll see if CC's long potting has come back. It was great at the beginning of this match. Kind of...
Interesting. I think CC's going for the red at the bottom. So he has safety in mind too. Not going all out. And I think that's good strategy by CC, because what he's realized is he doesn't just want to give anything easy to Dave because he's struggling too.
Yeah, it's kind of that half shot, like that tempter, like not an easy one for Dave, but give Dave one that he should be thinking that he's going to make, and then force Dave to make, maybe not the correct shot and misses.
That's what happened here. I think Dave played it in a way where if he missed, he's going to leave something easy for CC. Whereas CC was thinking about safety as well.
Good evening to our good friend over in Deutschland, in the Bavarian part of that country, Snooker 155. Good evening. Hope you're enjoying this match between CCU, reigning Seattle Snooker Open champion, against Dave Daly, both hailing from the Seattle area. CC runs and owns Empire Billiards, a club about 20 minutes away from us here at Ox Billiards. And Chateau Daly has a table of their own. I don't know, have you been over to Dave's house and seen this magical table?
I have not. I hear he's got like a Riley aristocrat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seen the pictures. Very nice looking table. Very beautiful red curtains, fitting in line with the Pacific Northwest. I feel like he'll have coffee and donuts and cherry pie served. It's funny enough, actually, I was watching a little vignette from that TV show Twin Peaks that I was alluding to. And at one point, there's a Palmer family. It's essential characters in the story. I won't give any of the plot away. You'll have to watch the show yourself because it's an excellent show. But at one point, David Lynch asked Grace Zabriskie, as her character Sarah Palmer, what's she been up to these days? He's like, well, I'm doing groceries, watching a little bit of TV, the football, billiards. Oh, but really like the snooker. Like, is David Lynch a snooker fan? Just leave it at that.
Nice shot by CC there.
What do you think, Prathamesh, of CC's kind of stutter stroke as he comes through? Do you notice that as well?
Yes, he has that stutter stroke, but I think his overall technique is pretty good. I think the difference in the way CC plays and a lot of the other players play, he doesn't try to do a lot with the cue ball. I think he plays more of natural positions, favors follow shots. If he's off, there are a lot of times where he wouldn't try to push the board out, try to go around the table. He just take what he gets and play safe from there. So I think at this level, it's a very solid way to play. And when he's in amongst the balls, he keeps it very simple. If you see, he's more center queuing, follow shots, takes the natural route to most positions. The stutter does exist, though. I mean, that's visible, but it doesn't affect him. I'm in the camp where I think there's a lot of focus that snooker players put on technique. Technique is good, but after a certain point, you really can't change your technique. So most players, I think, it's important what you do with the technique you have or what you are comfortable with. Rather than, I think if someone came to me maybe when I was 15 and tried to change my technique, it would have worked. If today someone came to me and said, change the whole technique, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a nice long pot there by Dave on the blue. Maybe that will kick him into gear and you can take this third frame. But our good friend Wayne Chan out of the Vancouver area, we haven't seen a lot of actually him this season. Not sure how he's doing, but hopefully he's doing all right. Him and also Liang Wenbo, I've noticed they have that stutter with the follow through. So
I think most snooker or pool players, there are very few players who are really good and have perfect technique. And yes, Michael Holt says the same too.
Is that your coach?
He just dropped a video just about Prathamesh said, I guess on last night at midnight. And the technique is not the end all be all. He's a good guy.
And I've had a chat with him too. I think, and that's where coaching is changing. If you've seen a lot of the videos that Stephen Hendry's done recently too. The traditional form of coaching was you have to get the technique right. You have to get the technique to what I say it is from the coach, and only that works. And it's not that anymore. I think more snooker coaching is going towards taking what the player has and getting the best out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stephen Hendry said it multiple times in his new series that for him coaching does not help.
I don't know. Me, on the other case, I'll take anything. I'm just a sponge. I need to find out it all.
It is important, and don't get me wrong. Technique is important. I think if you have solid fundamentals, your technique will stay strong even under pressure. But I think there's too much emphasis when a player misses a shot. All they think about, hey, I did this wrong. I lined up wrong. When probably it's not that. Most of the time, they're just delivering it wrong because they're feeling the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Because our mind is a strange and wonderful thing, and how often than not, that sometimes you're on the shot and that split second of like, did I leave the laundry on? Just as you're delivering the cue, it just throws you off completely.
Yep, Graham Dodsworth saying he wants to see Dave put something together. Yeah, we all want to see it. I think Dave's another one of those players, solid fundamentals. I mean, I've seen him play really well. I've practiced with him a fair bit. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think it's in this match. I think it's playing against CC that's making the difference.
You're just having a glance at the scoreboard. See that there's 18 in it.
I don't know not sure what Dave's trying. I think he's trying to thread the needle between probably the green and the black. That's a tough shot. I think a better way would be to just go 3 cushion on the bottom red to the left. I think CC might take this on.
He's opting to put him back. Yeah, I agree with you, Prathamesh, taking the bulk cushion, side cushion, and then the left side cushion and kind of coming, maybe using...
Yeah, it's using the last cushion too. It's pretty natural. The only thing you've got to miss there is miss the blue on either side. I think you'd probably have to go from inside. But this is really hard, what he's trying.
Oh no, that black has come out. I think CC and has got a sitter of a red, so not good for all the Dave Daly fans out there. You know what I like to call that? That's the Bill Werbeniuk shot. Don't know if you know Bill Werbeniuk, but he's a great Canadian player, heavyset fella. Actually, when he was over in the UK, playing on the professional circuit, actually was successful in writing off lager for his income tax because he had a tremor in his arm that made him shake, and he found that drinking lager would calm it down. So he'd have probably about 6 pints before a match and continue drinking while playing, and still played pretty good.
That is one of the differences between the old videos you see of snooker world championships and so on. I think players used to drink beer all the time while playing.
True, yeah, I think like they did have an open bar up until 2000, so there definitely would be some more adult beverages at the table side at the Crucible.
Excellent shot by CC there. Mayank's asking what is the score on the other tables.
Well, looks like Gary Wallace as well has a 2-frame-to-nothing advantage over Christian Youngers, and I believe it's still 1-1 for Alex Newstead and Kevin Cui, and they're in the 3rd frame there. And actually, Prathamesh had a walkover because unfortunately Angus Louis did not show up. Hopefully Angus is okay. We just haven't heard anything. We've tried calling him and texting him, so if anybody knows. Looks like there was a concession there that Dave and CC and their little updating have shaken hands, and that concludes this round of 16 match. Prathamesh, thank you very much for coming into the booth. Hopefully we can see you again, and we'll see everybody else here at about 1 p.m.